You're watching Reality Check. With every day, with every arrest, FIR and charge sheet, the Delhi police are only reinforcing the impression that they are acting under political instructions, using the investigation into the Delhi riots to target critics of the present government. Actions that the police are taking on the basis of highly questionable evidence. The latest is the arrest late on Sunday night of the activist and former student leader Umar Khalid. Khalid has been charged with a stringent anti-terror UAPA law, as well as sedition and over 20 other sections of the Indian Penal Code, including murder and attempt to murder. What are the grounds? The police appear to be taking their cue from BJP IT cell head Amit Malviya, who tweeted a selective clip of a speech made by Khalid in Amravati, Maharashtra in mid-February, where Khalid calls for protests against the CA-NRC to be timed with the India visit of Donald Trump. Even in itself, this selective clip can hardly be seen to be a call to violence, leave alone terrorism. Let's listen.
हम वादा करते हैं 24 तारीख को जब डोनाल्ड ट्रंप हिंदुस्तान आएंगे तो हम ये बताएंगे कि हिंदुस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री और हिंदुस्तान की सरकार हिंदुस्तान को बांटने का काम कर रही है, महात्मा गांधी के उसूलों की धज्जियां उड़ा रही है और ये बताएंगे कि हिंदुस्तान की आवाम हिंदुस्तान के हुक्मरानों के खिलाफ लड़ रही है। अगर हिंदुस्तान के हुक्मरान देश को बांटना चाहते हैं तो हिंदुस्तान की आवाम देश को जोड़ने के लिए तैयार है। हम तमाम लोग सड़कों पर निकल कर आएंगे। आप लोग निकल कर आएंगे?
Of course, what Malviya and now Delhi police seem to have ignored are portions of the speech where Khalid explicitly makes it clear that the protests should be peaceful.
हम हिंसा का जवाब हिंसा से नहीं देंगे, हम नफरत का जवाब नफरत से नहीं देंगे। अगर वो नफरतें फैलाएंगे तो हम उसका जवाब प्यार से देंगे। अगर वो डंडा चलाएंगे तो हम तिरंगा उठा के लहराएंगे। अगर वो गोली चलाएंगे तो हम संविधान को हाथ में लेकर अपने हाथ को बुलंद करेंगे। अगर वो जेल में डालेंगे तो सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा गाते गाते हम हंसते हंसते जेल चले जाएंगे, लेकिन इस देश को आपको बर्बाद करने नहीं देंगे।
Now, in other charge sheets filed by the police, they have named Umar Khalid as being accused of plotting protests ahead of the Trump visit with the activist Khalid Saifi and a former councillor of the Aam Aadmi Party, Tahir Hussain, at a meeting on 8th of January this year. Except, as the Quint, the website, pointed out, the supposed meeting took place several days before the announcement of Trump's visit was made public. Now, Khalid's arrest just comes days after the police drew flak for naming leading academics, political figures and activists in one of the riot's charge sheets. Those named included Yogendra Yadav, Jayati Ghosh, Apurva Nand, Rahul Roy, Sitaram Yechuri and the lawyer Mahmood Paracha. The police had to clarify that they had only named them, not booked them. But as the Indian Express points out in today's editorial, even the naming is deeply problematic. The Express writes, the unvarnished message is this: all those who protested against the Citizenship Amendment Act can be hounded and harassed by a police force with a political view. A police that is now trampling over the vital distinctions in a democracy and equating the protester with the rioter. One that is acting and being seen to act as a force that will not stop at weaponizing laws to criminalize the dissenter. Moreover, even the naming or the basis of the naming has been called into question. The police have relied on what are known as disclosure statements by two activists who had been arrested in the riots case, Devangana Kalita and Natasha Narwal. To begin with, several lawyers have pointed out that such statements are not legally admissible as evidence. The two women have said that they have refused to sign those statements. Further, many parts of the Kalita and Narwal statements, which the police say were truthfully recorded as narrated by the accused person, are similar, almost cut and paste, indicating they have been drafted by the police themselves. This is what both the statements say. In the month of December, after passing the CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, Jayati Ghosh, Professor Apurva Nand, Rahul Roy had explained that we have had to protest against CA-NRC, for which we can go to any extreme. Umar Khalid had also given some tips for doing protest against CA-NRC. This is both statements identical. On the directions of these persons, Umar Khalid's United Against Hate Group and JCC Jamia Coordination Committee and members of our Pinjra Tod together started protest in different parts of Delhi. Identical statements. Even spelling errors, which we circled on the screen, in the case of Jayati Ghosh and Apurva Nand's names, are repeated in both statements. The net result is the police have now named or booked a wide spectrum of critics of the government in the riots case, while conspicuously ignoring BJP leaders who gave hateful speeches. And that's what you can see on your screen before you. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see all the government's critics who've been named or arrested, from Yogendra Yadav, Harsh Mandar, Chandrasekhar Azad, Apurvanand Jayati Ghosh, and so on, and then a whole list of student activists